So now that we are past that Federal Reserve decision, the focus will likely shift to other economic data, like the jobs number, which comes out tomorrow. Despite 6 rate hikes this year, the labor market remains tight. Workers are scarce, with nearly every business or industry that we speak with saying they're having a lot of trouble finding people to take jobs, even at higher pay. And check this out. American companies are on track to spend $50 billion more to hire people than they did just before the pandemic. Let's welcome back in Evan Sohn, chairman and CEO of Recruiter.com. That is his number that we just cited. Evan, what is that number? What is that $50 billion?
Well, Brian, thanks for having me on your show. You know, we talked about this earlier in the year, and we talked about this that relates to the Great Resignation and the job hopper economy, which has now morphed into job mobility. And if you look at the JOLTS report and you look at the hiring that's going on in 22 over the average hiring going on in 2019, times the average cost to hire a base employee in the U.S., which is $4,420. Executives are over $14,000. This is not the added cost of salary. This is just the cost to hire. We've spent as an economy about $40 billion more this year in hiring than we did in 2019.
Is that mostly just straight up salaries? Is it recruiting costs? Is it advertisements? It's sign-on bonuses,
advertising, time, not bonuses, nothing to do with salary. This is the actual cost to hire an employee. You know, keep in mind, there are lots of employees, and we're seeing more and more hiring taking place than ever before. 6 million people, slightly over 6 million people were hired last month, according to the JOLTS report.
Yeah.
A little over 4 million people quit. This is more than was happening in hiring than in 2019 because of job mobility, the wage inflation. It's easier to leave a job. You know, our recruiter index showed that 57% of the recruiters in the index saw that 30% of the employees of the candidates that they were talking to had 3 jobs in the last year. Just amazing. And you're seeing on the slide now, focusing on employee salaries of $80,000 to $100,000 range are also up significantly over this past month. So we're really seeing this real movement of employees still moving around despite a looming recession.
Do we know where they're going to, and more importantly, where they're going? I mean, going from and going to, Evan, because I talk to businesses on TV. I also just talk to businesses in my town, a tree guy, somebody up in Wisconsin, where I go all the time. None of them can find anyone. So I don't know if people are going from one job to the other. It just feels like people have disappeared.
So, this is like deja vu, Brian. We talked about this earlier in the year. You asked me, how are they making money? If you're not working, how are you making money? And you saw Uber's numbers yesterday, and the average Uber driver is making $36 an hour. So our speculation, and anecdotally, in talking to recruiters and in our clients, that pre-pandemic, someone might have had 2 jobs working at a factory. One factory they worked at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The other factory they worked at Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Pandemic comes, they start driving for Uber. Pandemic's over, they go back to one factory and drive for Uber or DoorDash or some other gig in that second job. The other thing is people are crossing the street. You know, we had this stigma of not leaving a job early, right? Whether it's your parent that said you got to stay for 4 years, suck it up. That doesn't exist anymore, or certainly doesn't exist at the same level. So if I could cross the street and work at another factory for an extra 25 cents an hour, or I'm going to go to another job because they're going to pay me more money, I'm going to do that. What was holding me back was the stigma of being a job hopper, and now we call it job mobility.
Now it's like a stigma of not being a job hopper because you're seen as foolish for not going to get more pay because somebody probably wants you. It's an unbelievable jobs market. We'll see how long it lasts. Evan Sohn, Recruiter. We got to leave it there. Evan, we'll get you back on, though. We'll do like a monthly thing. Well, it's Kelly's show. I'm just filling in. We'll get you back on with her, and we'll talk more about it. Evan, thank you.